So
Alice,
regardless if it's the 25 and the 33, it's going to be 58 total, and that'll cover, even if they do not do any fundraising whatsoever, it'll cover the recharter fee at the beginning of the year versus the 66, so we don't get hit with a overabundance charge like we did last year, correct?
So Alice, can I just step in real quick? So
Yeah.
I think the easiest way to look at it is it's just $550 a month. So like the actual cost for scouting is only $550 a month. Like kind of look at it like a Netflix subscription of like $13 or $14 a month. And then there is only a one-time fee of $25. So if that youth has never joined before, there'd be one-time $25. And let's say that new youth joins as a kindergartner and goes all the way through 12th grade, they only pay this year that $25 joining fee. If that yeah.
Go ahead. No, I understand that, and we approached that way last year, and it kind of came back and really went over like a lead balloon because they're like, oh, well, it's $550 or whatever it was. Let's just say it's that $550 a month. Well, they decide that they want to quit in February. Well, we already had to pay the recharter fee, which we in advance had to pay for it, and then I wasn't going to collect $550 a month from them every month because they're like, well, it's monthly then. And I said, no, I need it all up front. Well, I'm okay.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. So I'm just trying so $550 a month. If you do your recruitment in September, that's 4 months. That's $22. So $22 September through the end of December, and then the one-time joining fee of $25. $25 plus the 22 is $47.
Right, but how we kind of got the recruit or the recharter went off of when we started of even the previous year, so we ended up having to pay for those scouts regardless. So yeah, we'll figure it out. I just wanted to get that off the top of my head, that way I know.
And yeah, Chris, I think the best thing in September when you're at a park or you're doing maybe an outdoor sign up somewhere, and just being transparent with the families and saying, hey, like $47 basically gets you now until the end of the year. In October and November, to do a recharter to get us through 2021, that would be $66. And each unit's unique and different. So whether you have fundraisers or you participate in the popcorn sale, sometimes in that PAC committee structure sort of identifies how they're going to, finance the adult membership and maybe the youth membership too, based on product sales and things like that. So I think the transparency right away with new families.
Right, it's a little bit
important.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's just easier up front to say, hey, this is what the scouting is going to pretty much cost you. And if we meet our fundraising budget, we know their money's out of your pocket. So I always like to hit them straight up. It's going to be 27 or 66 or 92. And so I always give, hey, this is the big number. This is what it could be maximum out of your pocket. But if, and there's always that if, we meet everything, it can be cheaper.
Yeah.
So I just want to know total up front, worst case scenario, because a lot of families, even now, worse than previous years, are having to budget a lot bigger thing of, is it a need or a want or a extra or a necessity? And we're seeing that across the board, and we haven't even started scouting yet. So I want to give them max dollar up front so they can budget their family budget now due to everything that's going on worse than last year. So that's fine. That's all the time I'll take.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Chris. So the full year is $66 for youth, and then for adults, it's $42. So adults did increase as well. And for youth, there's a one-time join fee of $25. we go back to the PowerPoint, see where we were. So membership costs, flyers. So flyers a little different this year. We're still working with schools to see if we can send them home. I know some schools are doing a hybrid model. So we're probably looking at doing a mixture of actual flyers and doing an online copy. But some of these things that we would normally do have changed. You know, some schools aren't having open houses. If your school is having an open house, please let me know, because if we can have flyers at that open house, that's even better. If we can have a person there, that'd be great. I mean, we'll stand outside and wear our mask and hand out flyers if we can. So if you find that kind of information out, please let me know. We're looking at our school talks. Those are going to look different this year. A lot of schools aren't going to let us in just because they're not letting anyone in. So we have videos for our school talks that we're going to be sending to principals and asking if they'll share it through either the school announcements, emails back to parents, their Facebook pages, anything that they're willing to put it up on to help us out. This is actually where you guys could help me. If you could reach out to your principals or the teachers that are in your packs and ask them to help us with this, that would go a long way. I'll be sending you the recruitment videos that we have on hand. And I mean, you can start sending those out via email, put them up on Facebook, because it's really going to come down to getting that in front of as many people as possible. We're also going to do some friend-to-friend cards, so kids can invite their friends to come to the next meeting, or the virtual meeting, however it might be. Oh dear, I went too far, sorry about that. We have yard signs again this year. Put them up on corners, all throughout your town, in front of everyone's yard, in front of the school if we can, just put them out. We have those at the office, so please let me know if you want to get some. I encourage everyone to put as many yard signs out as possible with information about either the Join Scout Night or beascout.org. Yep, we got our Bring a Friend cards, the flyers. You can post flyers around town. If your families have businesses, ask if they'd share that in their business. We are going to be doing geofencing again this year, which is why if you do have a Join Scout Night, it's important to let me know so that I can make sure that your ad for your area is specific for your Join Scout Night. So if you could get that to me at least 14 days ahead of time, then I can get that out and up on Facebook. We'll be doing general ads as well, but when you do have your Join Scout Night, even if you have multiple ones, let me know and I can tailor your ad so that it's more specific to you guys. And along with that, pictures from your pack and pack stories are going to go a long way. So if you could send me some of those, I can make better looking things for you guys. And then this is where we're getting into what an online application looks like. So I'll go through this pretty briefly, and then Amanda is going to show you what that looks like on a unit leader end. Basically a join night, we're going to try and eliminate as much paperwork as possible. We do have the ability right now to do youth and adult applications online through beascout.org. And this makes it just so much easier because you don't have to worry about if the information is correct or if there's missing information, because they can't complete the application unless it's all filled out. You can okay it right then and there. It makes it easier. And it goes right into your scout book within 24 to 48 hours. So you don't have to worry about getting the paperwork to the office or to me. It just happens, overnight as soon as you've accepted it. You can still use if you have paper applications, you can definitely still use those. But this is just another way that might be easier, where people don't have to fill out a paper copy. So I'll stop sharing. And if Amanda, if you want to show what that looks like, that'd be great.
Okay, so I'll start sharing. And okay. So when you first log into your myscouting.org, this is the first screen you see. You come over to your menu, and down here, I'm in 3 groups. So there's the pack and the troop for the boys and the troop for the girls. And you open that up and go to your application manager. If you had an email that said you have a lead, somebody filled out an application or has more interest in your group, it would show up in here under, I think it's just under invitation. Here it is. We had one the other day, so it says pending reassignment. And you open that up, and if I click his name, it will give all the information that his parent filled out, the email address and a phone number and great contact information. So from there, you can respond back and give your information. But what I found that I thought was pretty neat when Alice and I were playing yesterday is you have your QR code down here that they can take a picture of it and upload, and it'll take you right to your application, this over here. So I thought that was kind of cool. And if you had like a join scout night and you wanted to personally fill it out for them or hand them your device so they could do it, you can click new lead and they can enter all that information in there, and it sends them the application through their email. I think that's about it. Alice, was there anything else you wanted me to show?
Yeah, that's with the invitations. And then if you do get an application, it would be in your application section of the manager. Yep. And I believe it just said, it says right on there the different steps they're in. So if they've filled it out all the way and they're pending acceptance, you'd click yes or no. And if you're waiting payment, it'll show that on there, and you can let them know how to pay. But it's really easy. Once you've hit accept, it will take 24 to 48 hours, and it'll show right up in your scout book, which is pretty great. Yeah. Does anyone have questions about about that feature, about the application manager? I think probably all of you have at least seen a lead. I've sent them some to you.
Alice, I'll just kind of mention just a couple other key bullets on the application manager and online registration. It's really cool. Actually, as of earlier this week, our council has now made the option to accept adult online applications. And that is just way cool. We've actually had 3 or 4 of them roll in this week alone. And wow, is it ever easy, because so many of you guys remember the adult paper application. It's kind of pretty big, and there's a lot of blank spaces to fill out. And there's a social security number and a date of birth and a driver's license number. And then there's 6 questions on the right side of the application that they have to answer, yes or no. And then they have to dig 5 or 6 pages in for a consent to a background check. So we often have defectives, meaning a date of birth isn't filled out, a social security, or they missed maybe one bubble of their 6 questions on the right side. And we have to then, get it back to the unit leader or the committee chair follows back up with that adult, and it can be a long process. So with this all moving online, literally there are 0 defectives, because if someone leaves a blank space, the online system will automatically redirect you and, asterisk it, make it red, and just say, hey, you missed this spot, please fill this out. It is way cool. They can, swipe their credit card and pay. They also have to have youth protection. So you don't even have to remind them about youth protection, because it already chimes them on the front end, and they can't complete their application unless they've completed their training first. So it is a one-stop shop. And the other neat aspect too is that leader signature, that charter organization representative, whoever your COR is, can then just click it and approve that application. Now, you may have a COR that is not super technologically savvy, doesn't check email. They just may not really be that involved electronically. So the unit can also designate someone within the unit per the charter organization representative, let them know, and they can assign someone within the unit that will be proactive about that and check the leads and check the adults coming in. And that person has the authority then to approve that application on behalf of the charter organization representative. That does not make that person responsible as the charter organization representative or have those job requirements. It just helps them with the online application process. So very cool, very insightful. And we're excited to have that. We've had good feedback already this week along with the adult online application process. So that's on the adult side. And the youth side, families can literally sign up at 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, put the kids down. They see the email or they got a flyer and, hey, now I can sign up. That QR code that Amanda shared with you directs you right to your unit's account. So it is way cool. And a lot of our digital platforms, as far as some of our marketing, as far as Facebook leads, and we're going to have some ad dollars for Facebook. When you give Alice, your join Scout Night date, we can link that directly to your account as well. So a date, time, location, if it's at a park or outdoors facility, that's perfect. They can come, but even if they can't come, or they may sort of not want to come for whatever reason, obviously in this pandemic, they can still register. So.
Thanks, Colin. And we have, I'll send in my follow-up email the links on how to do your adult applications and the how to pick a charter organization representative for your apps. If your actual charter organization representative isn't tech savvy. All right, so now we're gonna go into what Join Scout Nights could look like this year. I've lost where we were. Just a second, folks.
I also put the link in the chat area on this call tonight to find all information on online registration. There's some great webinar videos, 45 minutes. You can dive right in there and watch an awesome webinar video on the process if you have more questions. You can also send direct links. So if you have friends in your pack and your family members, you can invite them electronically through your QR code, through an email. If you have an email list of family members, or maybe you have a soccer team, you coach the soccer team, and you got kids of the same group, hey, send them an invite. You can all do that and send them a link to join.
All right. So we do have parent packets digitally right now. If you would like to have physical copies, email me with the number that you want, and I can print out some for you. And if you have, unit calendars, stuff like that you want printed, I can do that. You just have to send them to me. But yeah, these are important things that you should have. And there's actually a way that you can collect all of the emails after a Join Scout night and make sure to send them this all digitally. That'd be a great option so that they have it and they're not going to lose their paperwork. So make sure there's a youth application. I would also include an adult application just so they can see one. Your unit calendar, parent orientation date, or an extra Zoom meeting or a phone call. We do have mini Boys Life if you would like some. And I do have a flyer for the uniform price that I can send over to you guys. So these are the things that we should be thinking of due to COVID and making sure that we're following the health department guidelines and orders. So I would suggest if you're gonna have a Join Scout night to have it outdoors if at all possible. If not, make sure that you are socially distancing and everyone's wearing masks. I would bring some hand sanitizer to have out at any tables you might have. Limit crowding. So let's make sure that we get families in and out as quickly as possible. And be flexible. So, like Colin mentioned, some maybe parents aren't comfortable with coming to an actual meeting. So collect their information, send them that online application, and maybe set up a Zoom link or a Google Meets link for your next meeting or a parents meeting. So in a traditional join night, we're going to be doing all these things, greeting warmly. You're going to give a packet out. You're going to have them fill out an application and pay it right there. And then you want everyone to know when, where to come back and what uniform to get. So that's still similar to what we're going to be doing, but we're just going to be making as much effort as we can to the safety and health of everyone involved. So maybe instead of a packet that they get physically, they get it, emailed to them, or they fill out their online application and pay their fees online so that you're not interacting through touch. Yep, like this, an online app join night. So you could actually print out your QR code and have it sitting on the table right as they walk in. They can scan that QR code and start filling out their application right when they get there. This is, again, you're not handling any money. You don't have to worry about dropping an app off. There's no mistakes, and it's going to show up right away on Scoutbook. And you can make sure that family gets in and out nice and quick so they don't have to, hang around. They just get the information they need and they can be on their way. When your join night ends, make sure you approve all the applications online. I would highly recommend watching some of the webinars if you haven't yet. That's the link that Colin put in the chat. I would go through, there's a lot of different webinars that they had all summer long from National, and I think they're really helpful. I learned some when I was looking at them. So I would just see a couple that you think are going to be interesting and watch those. For the adult application, make sure your charter rep or the other leader is notified to approve them. If there's any paper applications and money, make out a check to the BSAC and either let me know when I can pick it up, or you can come to our office. We've got a mailbox outside, or you can come into our lobby. There's a bin, or you can come right on in on Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. If you're paying from your unit account, either send me an email or write it right on the apps. And then after the join night ends, make sure to send out your welcome emails and letters. I'll include in the recap email a example of something you could send out. Make sure it has your den leader contact, an electronic calendar, or meeting info, some information about when the fun days are, and invite them to your Facebook groups or whatever communication tool you use for your pack. And then follow up with any families who didn't sign up. So this is a great opportunity, like what Amanda was showing you, to put in on your My.Scouting a lead for any family who maybe came but didn't sign up that night. Go ahead and enter them in on your invitation manager and maybe send them an application. For troops, you can help with the open houses, hold and invite a buddy night in August or September, schedule a camp out for some of the older kids to try a Scouts BSA program. You can also help the packs and maybe do scout activities for any new families who show up while parents are filling out paperwork. This would again be a good thing to do if your pack is having a joint scout night outside. It'd be harder to do if you're inside, just with the crowding. And then please, again, put flyers everywhere. Mark it on Facebook. If you see an ad, share it. Or if you see pictures, just share the good news about scouting. Yeah, offer to help with Cub Scouts. You can serve as temporary den leaders for new lion or tiger dens. I know some troops do the den chief program, and that works out really well for their older scouts to get some leadership, and it helps out any packs who need some extra help. Share the events on Facebook, Instagram, and other social media. You can volunteer at the Family Fun Days and just talk about scouting everywhere you can. That is about through our PowerPoint. So I'll stop sharing, and I guess we can just open up the conversation. Does everyone know? Yes, Scouting Wire. Has everyone been on Scouting Wire, the website?
No.
So it is an awesome resource for anything you might want scouting related.
Yeah, I think I was.
Let's see. I got it pulled up.
In the chat, I provided a link that you guys can check out after this meeting or a time convenient. They've had weekly webinars. You've probably gotten weekly updates from Alice over the last 4 to 6 weeks. Hopefully some of you were on those live feeds or you watched them that were recorded. But yeah, Alice has the website up currently, and there's a video and slide deck for all they're about 1 hour webinars. So they're already pre-recorded. You can fast forward the parts that you really want to learn more about. And so there is also a live upcoming version, August 25th. I believe at the top, Alice, it says August 25th. Things to do, it's not too late. But it talks about Scout Book. It talks about peer-to-peer recruiting. It talks about how to set up your own geofenced ad. So each of your units, I'd encourage you to maybe throw $10, $20 down from your pack account and create your own geofence ad through Facebook or Google. Inter-council budget, we're allocating dollars for each of your units as well. So each unit, the sooner you guys can provide a date, time, location, and get that to Alice, she can then populate a Facebook geofence ad. And really what that is literally it's an invisible fence. And if people walk into that fence with their phones, their smart device and their GPS is on, and they're on their phone looking at stuff, let's say they're on Facebook, and they meet the demographics, young family, or if you're in, early 30s through your 40s or late 20s, whatever that is, it'll chime through your phone and you'll see that ad. But I encourage you guys, as your unit, you guys have full capabilities and full ownership in that, and you can create your own ads. And literally, you could take $10, $20. They're very inexpensive from your own pack, and you utilize some of those resources. So there's some great videos on there. I encourage you guys to check out.
Does anyone have questions about recruiting this year? Okay. If you think of things, or if you want to just talk one-on-one, I'll put my email and cell phone number in the chat in case someone doesn't have it. Please, get a hold of me. We're working from home and from our office, so I'm pretty available really anytime. And we can, brainstorm ways to do recruiting in your town or in your school. If you've got ideas that you want to try out, I want to hear about them. Again, I'll be sending you some videos for recruiting this year. But if you guys want to make one that's for your pack specifically, let me know, and I'd love to help you out with that. I would really just talk to your parents and see if there's some, talents in your Cub Pack or troop that can be used right now. This is kind of a unique time because we could try anything and it might work. So if you have a cool idea, I would try it, it's not gonna hurt. It might help.
Hey, Alice, it's Kent. I had a random question.
Yeah.
Colin was talking about the adult applications online, which is awesome, because those are a giant pain in the butt for us. Anyway, when they do that, you can't turn one in unless you have youth protection. Does it link you directly to youth protection from that online application?
Colin, do you know if it does?
Yeah, so let's say they're a new adult, or you've recruited them before, and you give them, hey, go to bscout.org and go register. So once they go on, it's going to prompt them right away to take the youth protection training first. And then they're going to create a username and a password. And then right there, it's going to somewhat link their member ID number. That's going to create them as a member. And then once that youth protection is done, then they can go and finish the prompts within the adult application.
Okay, I forgot they had to make a username and password, and that's what creates the BSA member number. Because I'm like, how do they do that if they don't have a BSA number to go through it? So that makes sense.
Yeah, great question, Ken. Yeah, and the other resource I just shared in the chat is a page to our YouTube account through the council. I encourage you guys to subscribe. And there you'll see a sample of 5 YouTube videos, anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes in length, of a 30-second recruitment video. And there's also a 2-minute video to check out. So again, I know Hancock County specifically is this hybrid model. Kids can go 5 days a week. They can go a couple days a week or virtual. And I believe Seneca County is 5 days a week. Don't quote me. This is what I learned yesterday. But some of those visitors are not allowed. Pull that video from YouTube, watch it. It has a link right to bscout.org at the end, so it gets the kids excited. Rah rah! We'll talk about the outdoors and the high adventure, and the principals could share that. And get that on their maybe weekly announcements. So encourage you to check that out. And that's our YouTube link in the chat below.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Does anyone, before we end, have any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Alice, Dave Smith got a question.
Hi, Dave.
I joined late. I missed the first half hour. There used to, I think you said there was going to be a video that I could go back and review to see what I missed.
Yeah, so we've been recording this. I did forget for the first part, but I think we caught it pretty quick.
Okay.
Yep, and I'll be sending out the slide deck we looked at, and some of the links that we were pulling up, and the recruitment videos and other stuff like that.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Yep.
Alice, if you guys don't mind, we are actually, this is our first day, and our final day is tomorrow for all hands. And typically, I guess I'll just fill you in real quick. Usually it's in person. This year it's all virtual. It's a conference that Mark and I usually go to every year. It's supposed to be in Alabama. We're doing it virtually this year. And everyone is all included on this, professional staff. So I'm going to share with you guys a sneak peek that I learned today of some cool resources that are going to be coming. Actually, they're available right now. I'm going to share the websites with you. But in the last month, our council has provided 2 DEN activities. Thanks to Alice and Erica, who's on our team. And we partnered with Tiffin University, and we provided the Tigerific gaming activity for tigers. And Tiffin University has gaming, they have a degree in gaming. So online gaming, computer design, in their whole department. It's pretty cool. It's called esports. And we got to spend, a day there. And we also partnered with Mazda Museum for a reading Tall Tales, which is also a tiger area. So we did 2 of the activities. I think there's 84 activities for Lions to Weeblos 2, K through 5. They are going to be digital. So if this environment continues through the Google Meets, which you all have now within your unit, we could talk more about that later, but you can have virtual DEN meetings, and the activities, literally the handbook is online on this website, and I'll share it with you. And it's about 5 to 8 minute videos that parents can do with their children and do the activities interacting with the video. And you could do this in a DEN meeting, Google Meets. You guys all watch the video, do some of the activities together virtually, and the parents can then go through Scoutbook and, hey, I completed this activity. So I'm going to share this with you right now. Alice, you want to give me controls, please?
Yep, I did.
Okay. So we go into here, and I will share this link, but you could take a screenshot of this up here. This is live for everyone. And DEN Leaders Tips and Tricks. And here's some cool videos that you can see. So how to do a flag ceremony, good conduct candle, a lot of good videos, the Bobcat badge overview, Scoutbook hacks. So in here, I'm not going to go in depth, but in these videos, Scoutbook is now all online for DEN leaders, and you can actually do the DEN activities right through your mobile device if you're a DEN leader, and parents can follow along as well. Here are the videos. So here are the lion videos, build it up, knock it down. All these videos are grade specific. So we tried to keep the videos of the age of the youth. So if a lion is 5 or 6, the video is 5 to 6 minutes long. If they're a Weeblo, it's probably 10 minutes long. So it's very age specific on attention spans. Here's the tiger ones. Ours are not in here yet. They are still every day populating more and more videos for activities and advancement. You can see the bears and the Weeblos. So you guys are a first look as of today, as I learned it real time. I encourage you guys to check that out. I'm going to copy this, and I will put this in the thread of the chat section below. and encourage you guys to check that out. So online den videos. So you can check that
Alice,
out.
are you sending out all these links?
Yeah, I'll send all these out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm going to lose this chat when the meeting ends.
So that'll give you a walkthrough on what's to come of the virtual den meetings. And if you guys recall, did you guys follow us on Facebook over like May and June when every day we did 6-week course on activities? So we did that internally as a council. We saw the need, we saw the desire, and it was really cool. All of our councils came together and were like, hey, let's do this, and let's do this together. So we provided 2 of the platforms. It's going to be seen throughout the 50 states. Tiffin University, the Mazza Museum is going to be seen all over with those activities, from new families joining and existing families that may be lions that are now tigers as they're in the 1st grade. So, and then lastly, you guys got an email from me probably yesterday. If you are a Cub Master, a Scout Master, or a committee chair, and the first email, you disregard that. I think there was a little mail merge snafu and we got that corrected on the second one. But we, being a nonprofit, have the G Suite, which is Google Suites platform. And we are able to be admins of that, and we can give email addresses out to each unit. So within the Google Suites platform, being a nonprofit designee, you all have the capability of having virtual meetings through Google Meets, and you can utilize that. You can also, and I think we're going to hit the button for this, Google has a monopoly on really the schools, and so many schools utilize the Google platform through the G Suite School Edition, and a lot of our students or who are scouts are familiar with that as they're meeting virtually. A lot of our parents are familiar with that. Teachers are familiar with that. So it is the same platform. So it's not like a Zoom meeting or an OWL meeting or a WebEx meeting or all this slew of different videos, chats there are these days. Google Meets a lot of times the kids are familiar with it, so they know that. So you can have your den meetings, you could have your PAC meetings, you could have committee committee meetings or adult meetings through this platform. And I put a tutorial together on how to set that up. You also have a Drive access, the Google Drive. So you can actually share and store PAC and troop important documents on that drive for your PAC to use and your unit to use. I was just thinking the other day, how cool would this be on your Google Drive? You could have some of the medical forms A, B, and C and have them on your cloud drive, and then come to camp and then boom, pull them up, there they are. Granted, there could be some personal information in there, and you may need to sort that through your PAC and your troop committee to see if that's something you want to do. But you can keep internal documents, and also helps if you're transitioning your role. Let's say you're not going to be a Cub Master anymore. How cool would it be to have a drive that's in the cloud, stored, shared, and you can pass that along to a new Cub Master, committee chair, or den leader. So these are all tools that you guys can utilize. And I'm also going to kind of maybe look at that button where we can activate it. So if a school has activated that button as far as the Google School Edition, and us being a nonprofit have activated that button with the School Edition, it is potential that you can actually get the Google Classroom linked together. So that is another feature that I just found out today. Again, it has to be reciprocating within that school. So if a school district has that button feature turned off, it won't sync properly. But a lot of cool. I know Jocko's on the call tonight. Jocko's been utilizing the Google Meets. There may be a couple more on. If anyone has any personal experiences firsthand.
If anyone needs help with Google Meets, I can also have another one-on-one meeting with you in Google, and we can go through how to do everything.
Alice, Dave Smith, I've got a quick question.
All right, Dave.
I've been using Google Meets within the pack and the troop for some time, ever since those links, not links, but passwords was sent out. One was combined with another console. And we have a combined pack and troop Google account that we've been using for several years for mainly for calendar. Is there some way to combine that or to convert that in some way so we don't lose the information that's on our existing Google account? I did see that the 2 emails that Colin sent out with the password for one for the troop and one for the pack.
I'm gonna have to look up if there's a way we can merge your calendar to the account we made. So I'll have to get back on that.
Several years ago, it became a real chore trying to manually create calendars for the units, and wanted the pack and the troop to work more closely together, being that we're sponsored by the same organization. And so we made the decision to do a combined pack and troop, Google account, and it's worked out very well for us so far.
I'm sure there's a way to do it, so I'll look it up, and then we'll have a meeting. Oh,
okay.
Looks like Mike Clark says you can add a calendar to your new calendar. You just have to subscribe to your old one on your new one.
Oh, okay.
So if you want, we can fiddle around and do that.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Great, thank you.
Hi, Glenn and Linda.
I'm not coming. I didn't get a link. Hello.
Hi. Well, I think we're actually wrapping up, but I will be sending out all of the materials we went over, along with recording this presentation, the slide deck, and all of the links that are over here on the chat, and some recruitment videos. So I'll be sending those out to everyone. If there's any more questions, give a holler, and if not, we'll end the meeting for the night.
What time did you start?
It was at 6.
I would have been late anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'll get you guys caught up.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone. Thank you. And I think in the end, if we can really bridge that gap, 90% of our applications last year were paper copies out of our over 1,000 youth recruited over the year. 90% of those were paper copies. I think we can almost weigh that to the other end with online applications. And it's kind of one of those things where I think this pandemic has really forced our hand to be better technologically savvy. And it's nice to see the tools that are becoming available for us as a local council, provided through the National Council. And I really want to, my 12 years being a professional, they've done an amazing job in these last 6 months rolling to getting a lot of things digitally. So I encourage you guys to really utilize some of these tools and resources. It is going to, watch some of those videos. It's going to take a little bit of learning curve together, but I think we can really maximize our efforts. And I wish you guys all the best of luck. And thank you for being on the call tonight. And I know we can have a great recruitment. And I know scouting is going to be needed more than ever as we come out of this. And it's going to be a great 2021. So thank you all. And let us know if you have any questions. Have a great evening.
Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys.